Hello everyone, in this video we will be solving the question search in a sorted 2D array. So the question says that we have an array of this form where the rows are sorted and the columns are also sorted in ascending order individually. So we are supposed to look for an element, say x. Now the approach that we'll follow to solve this particular problem is that we'll start at the top right element, and then we will compare x to our current element, which is the top right at the moment. We compare our x to this element, and we find out that in case we find out that this x is actually smaller than this element will say that, you know what, smaller values, all values that are smaller than me, are actually on my left, so I'll go to the left to search for it. Otherwise, if it turns out that, well, the value x is actually greater than me, so I say that you should go down, because the values that are greater than me will be found below me. That's the approach that I'll be following to solve this particular question. Taking an example, say I have x is equal to 42. Let's take it as 32. Doesn't make a difference. For 32, I go to 14. 14 says that you should go down since 32 is bigger than I am. I go down to 24. 24 says that I'm also bigger. Sorry, I'm also smaller than 32. So maybe you will find 32 down there. Now we reach 34. 34 says that, well, I'm actually bigger than 32. So maybe you will find it on my left, because that's where all the smaller elements are. Same goes for 33. So we go here, we find 32. And I think we have to print the row and the column. So we are in currently the second row, and we are in the first column. That should be our output. That's basically what we have to do. We have to handle two cases. That is, one more case where we actually might not find the element. Say we have an element 45. I go down from 14 to 24, then 34, then 44. 44 says you should go down because that's where the greater values are supposed to be. But I go down and I fall out of bounds. Same goes for a case, say 30. I go here, I go up till 32, same as before. I go to 31. 31 says that 30 is smaller than I am, so go left. I fall out of bounds. That's the case I'll have to handle. Let's try to code it up and see where we stand. I have already taken the input to save on some time, but I'll just explain it. This is the scanner which we use to take our input. This is the value n, which is the size of our matrix, which is n into n. We initialize our array with that size, and we take an input for each element. This x is actually our target that we're supposed to find in this sorted array. So now what we'll do is that we'll initialize two variables, int row, this will be 0, then int column, which will be array dot length -1, because we have to start at the top right position. So top row is 0th row, and the rightmost position is the array dot length -1th index. That's where we'll start, and we'll check whether we are in the range of our array or not. That range will be determined by whether our row is less than array dot length or not, and our column should be greater than or equal to 0. If these conditions satisfy, that means that we are in our range, as we discussed. Now I'll have to check if array, row, and column, the element at my current position, whether if it's equal to my target, then I simply print my row. Similarly, I print my column, and I return, because I have nothing else to do. My work here is done. Otherwise, I check if my current position, the element at my current position, if it is greater than x or not. If it is greater than x, that is, if my target is actually smaller, then the element says that you should go left. In that case, I decrease the number of decrease the column index, so that I can go left by one position. Otherwise, the only other case left is to go down because our target is actually larger. Now, in case none of these cases work out, that means that I've traversed all positions, all possible relevant positions of the array that I have, and I haven't found my element. In that case, I will simply print not found. Let's try to run this and see where we stand. And our output is accepting. Let's try to submit this. And our answer is correct. That's basically how you solve a question called search in a sorted 2D array. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this, drop a like, drop a comment, and do subscribe to our channel. Thank you.